is something that you've been keying in on, Tim, and that's Dana White and Joe Rogan. And I think it's a really fascinating kind of conversation that you're. Do you want to set the premise for us and we can play the clips?
Sure. I excuse me. I have tremendous respect for Dana White. I'm a huge fan of his business acumen, let alone UFC. And Joe's a good friend who's really helped me out in my life and career personally. So I say this with all due respect. It is either that they are not actively paying attention or they are deeply scared about what is happening to this country. And so, again, I don't say this with any derision. Dana White came out recently saying, oh, we can't have this cancel culture over Charlie Kirk's assassination. It's wrong. And I feel like something to that effect, that people are losing their jobs.
I've got it right here.
I feel like that misses the big picture. Joe Rogan has a viral clip right now where he says he's surprised at so many people celebrating the assassination of Charlie Kirk. And the reason I bring that up is, well, I've been on Joe's show several times and talked to him explicitly about this. In fact, the Twitter episode ended with me saying I was going to go live in a van down by the river to avoid the coming civil war because of what they were fomenting on
That's when you were on with Jack
Twitter.
and Vijaya.
Yeah. Yeah. The systems that they had built 10 years ago, I had warned about. So I'm surprised to see Joe is shocked by the celebration from these liberals. I'm wondering if there's actually more of a look. I'm just going to say it. I'm tired of being overly diplomatic to people when I have some critique of them, and I know there's so much that I owe Joe, but I do feel like he's saying these things because he's scared of what the left will do to him and his family, and so he's kind of walking things back and acting like, oh, I had no idea.
Well, let's play the clip then. Here's Joe Rogan, play cut 99.
Yeah. I never expected so many people would celebrate that man's murder.
That is evil. That's
bizarre. It's just bizarre. Like normal people that I think they're good people, and they genuinely think that guy was a bad guy, and I don't think they're right, and I think they were indoctrinated. And I don't agree with everything that Charlie Kirk said or did.
I don't care if he was a bad guy or not.
He's not a bad guy.
I don't want to see him. I don't want to see anybody die.
Joe's called them a cult before. So I know he just said they were indoctrinated, but I saw that and I'm just kind of thinking, I don't know how you spend as many years in the cultural space as you have and find yourself surprised, but I will cut him some slack. Perhaps what he means to say is, because I've experienced a little surprise myself, middle-of-the-road liberals who are relatively apolitical that I knew celebrating on Facebook that I was friends with. Maybe I should cut him a little bit of slack on that one. But as to the Dana White, the cancel culture stuff.
I haven't heard this.
Let's play this.
Okay, let's play cut 98.
I'm a big believer in free speech, and unfortunately, probably the most important speech to protect is hate speech.
You're not a fan of cancel culture?
No, I hate it. On both sides. It's like all the stuff that's going on with Charlie right now. You know, these people are going out and saying stuff, and you know, you're seeing people getting fired or kicked out of school.
You don't think they should be fired?
I think you're a disgusting human being if you're celebrating the death of another human being. But people make mistakes, and people are going to do dumb things. I don't like trying to destroy people's lives over doing something dumb.
Yeah, so I just drank a Form yesterday, and I'm like, I want to like throw up after. That's his energy drink. I'm like, that's the dumbest thing. That's literally the dumbest thing. So cancel culture is when you dig up someone's like old statements and try to get them canceled.
Like when you when you say that I don't think police are racist.
That someone said in private,
frankly, or at least if it's like something they say, like people just lost their jobs because they said like I don't think there should be riots. People lost their jobs because they said, I think riots might hurt Democrats in the elections. How about people lost their jobs for that?
How about Vivek Ramaswamy? He didn't put an appropriate image on Instagram, and he got a letter from his, like, I can't remember the exact, his board wrote him a letter being like, you weren't sufficiently angry over George Floyd.
That's not cancel culture at all. That's people saying, I don't want have to bring my child to a doctor's office that has that doctor or has that nurse, or I don't want that person working in my HR department because you're celebrating someone's murder. That's totally different from cancel culture. It's not even in the same ballpark at all.
Honestly, you are correct, but I'm going to say this. I don't care, make it cancel culture, and I'll tell you why. The line for the left, and this is to your point that you were correct on, the line for the left is you said something that disagrees with our our non-theistic religion.
Yeah.
The right has said, don't push assassination culture any further. That's our line. My attitude is this. We are at a point where they celebrated the assassination of Brian Thompson, venerated this guy, the alleged assassin. Not even a year later, Charlie Kirk is killed. It has come home for all of us who have been begging for it to stop. I a couple weeks ago said, I won't call for these people to be fired, but I will not defend them. And Will Chamberlain said, you're too nice. I think they should be fired. I think they should be canceled because a society that tolerates the veneration of assassins and assassinations is a society that has opened the door to civil war. And immediately I said, you're right.
Yeah,
that's our line.
I'm on that way.
This isn't a principle thing. This is if we want the country to be saved kind of thing, you need to draw the line somewhere.
This is my energy, though. I am so on board with cancel culture. And by the way, one of the things that gave me strength in the immediate aftermath was seeing accounts like Libs of TikTok just like calling these people out, blasting them up. These tweets are going crazy. People getting fired. I was like, yes, because this is absurd that we would put up with this as a culture. You should be canceled. You are a disgusting, gross human being if you do that. And I don't care what happens to you at that point. I mean, obviously, I don't want physical violence against it, but I think you should lose your job. If I'm an employer and I find out that my employee is doing that, good riddance.
You're canceling them back. That's the key. You're canceling someone who is celebrating the literal canceling of the man who sat in this chair right here. And if you're going to celebrate that, then yeah, you should lose your job. You should lose your pension. You should use your rank if you're in the military, whatever it is, lose it.
For full shows, live and on demand, it's Salem News Channel.